Alright guys, the first order of business today is not actually playing a Dracula game. It will be reviewing the VOD. I think I spent most of yesterday, writing notes on this game, so I have a lot of stuff written down here. But we're gonna go over the game together, because I think that'll be cool. I spent most of yesterday, thinking about this game, because I don't know. When I lose a streak, there's always, a lot of people who are supportive, and that is awesome. Saying, it's all good, they had some nonsense. They were running some fucking tomfoolery. The map was rough, etc., etc., etc. But honestly, I don't think Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is a map to be losing on with Dracula specifically. It's a really small map, and I literally couldn't have asked for better gens because I had a 3-gen both right and left side, all really close to each other, but we'll get to that in a second. We're just gonna go over it because I want to go over everything I could have done better because, I don't know, maybe from the perspective of somebody just watching who maybe isn't, super experienced or doesn't have, 7 years of time spent on this game. It may just look like I made, a couple of mistakes, I did this and that and this, whatever. But, there's not much else I could have done, but I could not disagree more, because I honestly think if I was, playing perfectly, which, not technically possible to play perfectly, but if I was, if I had the wherewithal to be present in that moment and play that game as well as I could have, I honestly think I could have 4K'd it, 2 gens or something like that. I could have honestly done very well, considering the circumstances. Starting off, pre-game, before we even load into this match, you do the basic thing. Who all is in the lobby? Not specifically their names, but just, keep a note in mind of, the actual survivor characters. Because, I don't know, sometimes you'll be in a game and just be, halfway through the game and be like, wait, there's a Dwight in here? You just, don't know. But you should always be, looking at who the survivors are, so you have a mental note of who all is in the lobby. And then figure out what items they're running. And we got 2 med kits. That's good to keep in mind for deciding whether or not you want to commit to somebody or whatever. And then, in this case, we can also go over the meta game, so to speak, which is we know they're on a win streak. I know they were on a win streak anyway. And that means, by their rules, they're not using more than one of each perk, so they're not going to have multiple DS. So I know if there's an obsession, there's a really high chance that they're not the person I want to chase, stuff like that. I'm only going to deal with 1 DH or 1 shoulder the burden. I don't have to deal with stacked nonsense. And I also know that those items probably don't have the greatest add-ons because they have to loot them from chests and stuff. So yeah, this is probably just default med kits or whatever. They probably don't have styptics or syringes, because that would mean they would have to bring Ace in the hole, and I don't think they want to risk that many perk slots, because they don't have all the perk slots in the world to get what they want from chests. So if anything, it's just plunderers. Might be a high rarity item, but that doesn't mean it has add-ons. So probably no add-ons on the items. This is a strategy that I didn't recognize in the moment, but Tofu had, and this is Tofu, he's Anon, but Tofu had a shoulder the burden in DS, which means I chase anybody else. I deal with DH on Angels, I deal with off the record on Ralph, or I deal with blood rush sprint burst on Cam, and then also they get shouldered, so I have to hook them 4 times. Or if I change to Tofu, then I hook them, then hook Tofu, then eat DS, and then have to tunnel him to death. They just have their anti-tunnel spread out really well. And something I should have, maybe not should have, but something I could do in the future is knowing that if I run into a squad doing a win streak like this, assuming they're not stacking perks, it's usually the best decision to have shoulder and DS on the same person, because that person needs some form of anti-tunnel. And if you chase them off rip, all you have to do is eat DS, but nobody can shoulder him. So honestly, the play is, if I can find Tofu, I want to tunnel him out instantly, because he's my best bet, just to eat a DS and get him the hell out of the game. That's something that is good to know for the future against a squad like this, is that you probably want to eat DS, because they probably also have shoulder, because that's probably the best thing you can do. Chasing anybody else is I have to play really really close to the hook on their second hook, and then play to, I guess, like hold Hellfire, you know, prepare for the collat, and if I see him shoulder them, then I put it down and then just M1 tofu, you know. I'm sure I could probably just like hit him and like down him right after still. So that could probably still work, but you know, that's good to know. And then I just also knew that Angels had TH because I was just watching him earlier that day, so I just knew that. So yeah, the game plan going into this would have been Tunnel the Obsession, if I can find him. That's about it for the pregame, I think. Yeah, just keep a mental note of the survivors and the items they have, and then it would be good to know in the future, going against a win streak squad who's not duplicating perks, probably just the best idea to find Obsession then eat DS, like Tunnel the Obsession off rip. Okay. Second course of action was identify my gens, and off rip I should have been like, wow, that's fucking like 6, 5? It's like 5-ish. That's like 4, and then 2. So I have 2, 4, 5, 6-ish. Like these gens are ridiculously close. Then I had main, and then to my left, I had this 3-gen too, which I also could have played off of in the end of the game. So I have 2 3-gens and then main. So even if I lose like one of these gens, I can still play like main and the 3. Like I could not have asked for better gens this game, and it's kind of just, yeah, that's why I kind of get like a little bit annoyed when the people tell me it's a rough map, and it's like maybe on fucking, I don't know, like if you're playing Ghostface, maybe this map is rough, but like I'm on Dracula and I have these ridiculous 3-gens. And I know they can run main, but it's like main only does so much versus this killer, you know? I got Lapis Lazuli, like, you know. This should be a game that I win in hindsight, but like, you know, not everything goes according to plan all the time. But yeah, and then identify the obsession. Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the pregame, is Tofu has DS and shoulder, so I just eat that, that's out of the way, but he can't be shouldered by anybody else, so the best course of action is just to get that out of the way, and then I don't think he has any other anti-tunnel besides like Lythe, but you can't do much against Dracula even with Lythe, because you know, I got Bat Form and Lapis, so if he tries to like Lythe off a main window and then go to something else, I just like cut him off and block it, you know? Like this killer's like stupidly strong, and I honestly think, looking back at this game, this is probably one of his best maps, is this map. Like this map is ridiculously good for this killer. It's a little bit upsetting that I lost it, but you know. And then I guess I wanted to say this before I actually like loaded into the match. Like before this game, you know, in my head I wasn't like incredibly scared of this lobby. Like I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to focus, but I was like, you know, I wasn't like shitting myself mentally. But whether it is like a combination of like me getting 4 hours of sleep that day, or like, I don't know, my prescribed stimulant medication like kicking my ass, like my body just hit every button, and like just like my adrenaline was going off. I was like shaking like my cat was being held at gunpoint before this match even started. And like, that's not to just like blame nerves on everything, but like that's kind of what I'm doing. Like I was so unbelievably nervous about this game, and I don't know why. Like I don't know. It's I'm sure that'll get better, but yeah, I was just so anxious. Like I had to spend most of like the first half of this game trying to like calm myself down by talking to myself, because it was kind of just, it was like an unnecessary amount of nerves. Like I knew I had to be like careful about this game, and like sure, a little bit nervous would make sense, but it was like a concerning amount of nerves. Like I was like, you know, like low-key having a panic attack over it. And it's not because I'm like terrified of this lobby. Like they're good players, yeah, but it's like Ralph and Cam, they're not comp, you know? It's like they're good players, sure, but it's like they're sure as hell not on Team Invictus, you know what I mean? Like this is a beatable lobby. Same with like Tofu, he's like comp adjacent, and it's not like in my head I was like, oh man, there's no way I win this. It was just like I was just a little bit nervous, and then my brain was like, oh, okay, time to hit every fucking anxiety button that I have, and it's like, no, bro, stop doing that. Yeah, I'm sure that'll get better, but even if I hid the names here, like, I know the fits. Like, I see a Trenchcoat Ada, I see a Renato with the Iron Maiden black pants, like, comp fit. Then I see these two other players. It's like, this is like a comp lobby. Even if I don't see their names, I know they're on a win streak at this time. I see these players, I'm like, that's them. Like, that's Angels, that's Tofu. And this is probably the other two, you know? Like, I would have recognized that, even if I hid names. And I think hiding names, I think it would be better to just get over the nerves than it would be to hide the names, because, like, if I hide names, then I don't know what I'm getting into, right? I think it's more important to be prepared and, like, just get over the nerves than it is, like, make myself not nervous at the start, and then it just be too late and I don't realize the type of match I'm in anyway, you know? Anyway, okay. I will just point out mistakes as we go. But yeah, I look around here because, you know, looking at my gens, they probably spawned this side or something like that. Then here's Renato. And then... Hi, are you gonna do this right now, Callie? You gonna scream at me? Thanks. Yeah, this is, there's a whole lot of mechanical errors just because I'm, like, not in the greatest state of mind, you know. You know my state of mind going into this, it's like, I'm frazzled. I'm properly frazzled in it, you know. I cannot think for the life of me. My hands are shaking, like I can't do anything, but like that doesn't take away from the fact that these are mistakes I made and I should be going over them, you know. But like he's still running here. There's scratch marks there and I'm like, "Oh, did it go in here?" Like, you know, I'm just being stupid. So lose distance on him from doing that. Then right here, this pounce is fine. I could probably keep going around, but like, you know, I just aim right here-ish. You know, he's not even out there. Look, you want to guess out how far I fucking flicked there? This is I actually got rolled. Like it's bad, you know. I whiff this and I'm like, you know what? This is not worth it. I'm gonna leave, which was the correct play, I think. Then here, it's like, this isn't even my 3-gen. I'm looking around for somebody that probably doesn't exist here anymore. Probably should have just insta-kicked that. Then I should be going back to my non-corrupt gens, like on the right side of the map. Like I'm over on the left side here. Same thing here. I don't see anybody immediately, so I should just be insta-kicking this. You know? Yeah, I should just like insta-kick this and go over to my gens, because you'll see in a second, but... Anyway. Yeah, I should just be insta-kicking those gens, if anything. I'm over here, nobody's here. And... find angels here. This is something I didn't know, because, you know, I guess I could have come out of bat form a little bit earlier, but they were actually tripling that gen. And it's like, I'm in a way better spot than I think I am right now. I still counted this right here as an error, even though I got the hit, because it's like, what am I doing? You know, I got lucky because I can slide on that. I'm just like shaking, you know. I figured I might as well break this. And honestly, it would have been a good play, like right after that first tag, just to go back to this gen and hit it with eruption, because I'm sure they're just right back on it, you know. I get this down here. Naced a little bit there. Come back to this gen. Then I hit it without eruption. Just like, I guess I kind of have to do that now that I put myself in that position. Do a really dumb swing, but Ralph kind of goofs and gives me a hit anyway. Right here, I should honestly just commit to Ralph, because he's right next to this gen, and I know he's not quite as strong of a player as Angels, so it will be a good idea. But instead I go for some goofy-ass Hellfire shot that's not going to work. And then I go back to look for Angels, and cannot find him, because he crawled to the pallet in the jungle gym. You can see him right there. I did not see him at that time. But this is a really good opportunity for me here. See both of these players. It's a little crusty. It's 1080p. That's Tofu right there. That's my obsession. And then Camloso. And the play here is absolutely, as we've established in the beginning, is to chase Tofu. Because he's obsession, which means DS, but it also means shoulder, most likely. So that would be the best idea, to chase him. So like everybody's here. Ralph is at Shack. 2 people are behind here. Angels is sitting in a pallet dead, you know? Like, I'm in a way better spot than I feel like I am, just because I'm so nervous at this point. But, this was a mistake here, because I chased Cam. Tofu has walked edge map, and he's just sitting right there behind me, and I could just be chasing him. But yeah, I tag Cam. I go ahead and block this, which is the right play. I don't hear him vault, but I still go inside and then transform, so I just kind of let him get away. And then the play here, at this point, it's like, you know, I should hit this gen with eruption and then keep going for Cam, because he's still at the bottom of the map. He doesn't have much to work with. It's just Shaq and then After that, it's just a whole bunch of shitty ass fillers that Dracula can play around really well. And then I know Angels is around here somewhere, and then Tofu just picked him up, and then I see Ralph over here, and it's like nobody's doing anything. So I should kick this gen, keep going for Cam at this point in time, but I don't do that. For some reason, I really don't know why I didn't kick it, but I went straight for Ralph. I think that I thought I had put Eruption on that gen at Shack, just because I was not paying attention at all, even though I kicked it on cooldown. But yeah, I just go after Ralph here, and I get a pretty quick down, which is fine. I try to go back to stop this gen. It gets popped. And then at this point, like as soon as that pops, I should just do a 180 and teleport back to Ralph. But I don't do that, because I'm like, I want more pressure. I need pressure. Because I'm just like, if it's like I'm not in a position to fucking 4k4, then I feel like I'm losing, because, you know, negativity bias and such. And also I'm like very nervous again. Go for an ambitious prediction, and I'm like, you know what, probably not worth it. So I go straight back, and luckily Ralph didn't use Conviction, because he had Conviction, I think. Conviction Soul Guard. See both of them here. I don't think it would have been the play to chase them anyway. I just get a hook here. I still have my gens left side, because even though they broke my 3 gen on the right side, I still have these 3 gens on the left. So I'm still in a great spot right now. They have to reset. Tofu had just completed Shack. That's the only pressure they had, really. Like, they complete Shack. They were all fucking around there. Angel's got like 2% on this gen at 8. And then, so like, I'm in a better spot than I feel like I am right now. As long as I just play the left side and like don't stray too far from hook. Find 2 people lurking for the save here immediately. They're kind of fucking around. And I was just impatient here with Sprint Burst, but it's still okay. Angelz is also sitting here, and then I think Tofu DMS'd the gen next to Shack. So like, I'm still in a really good spot. They still have like negative gen pressure right now. They just got that 1 gen done because they tripled it. And I'm still doing fine. I get a quick tag on Angelz here. And the correct play after getting this tag would be go straight back to hook, because, you know, I'm sure Zarina or Cam is getting the pull right then and there. But I'm like, you know, I'm gonna keep trying to get it down on Angelz, because I don't know why. You know. And then they get the save, and I still don't go back. So I'm like, I'm gonna get this down real quick. And it ends up being fine. I see Zarina here, and then as soon as I transform, I see Claudette disappear with bat form there. I don't know if you could see that. I'll play it again. Which means my tunnel is still sitting right where she was, instead of booking it across the map. Hold on. Yeah, you can see her fade away there. So I'm still in a really good spot, you know. Come back over here. Cam doesn't camp this pallet, which would have been the correct decision. I get a free tag, and then I'm like, you know what? I saw somebody back here. And it's Ralph. Oh boy, this is really good for me. Because Angelz is on the ground. He could Unbreakable, because he does have Unbreakable, but I don't know that, you know. But it's more likely that, like, Tofu's going to want to pick him up, so not much gen pressure going on. I tag Cam, he's going to reset, and I'm still on Ralph, and it's like, I'm still in a very good spot here. I'm like, he's going main? No, he's not, from that side anyway. And he's at this car. The correct play here, let me emphasize this before you watch what I do. The correct play is just to get him to throw that, transform to vampire, hold Hellfire, and then walk around the car until he dies. And it's just a free down. You want to guess what I do? I try to hit a fucking clip on this guy, like an absolute troglodyte, because that the hood and the trunk of that car don't have collision for like Demo and Billy and Wolf form, you know. And it's like if he didn't, okay, for example, like if he didn't throw the pallet, if I was sorry, I'm rewinding a lot. If he was like running around the pallet, it would have been a good idea to do that. Like Like if he had gone around here and I was like looping it that way or whatever, I could have done the hook tech and that would have been actually like a pretty easy hit. But since I do it towards the pallet, it's like I gotta react. Does he throw it instantly or keep running? And for some reason he kept running, even though we should just be throwing that. But then I gotta do that, and then I try to react quickly and like, you know, slide across the hood and hit him here. And I don't do that. But it's still okay, because he's at this car, and then I make the mistake of positioning myself way too far to the left here before I transform, and then he just has main for free. And it ended up not costing me much, because for some reason he didn't just go straight to the pallet. Kind of didn't know where he was going. So I just get it down instantly, and it doesn't end up costing me much. And again, I am still in a very, very good position at this point of the game, because like, if anything, maybe they're on this gen, and then there's like a gen over here. The correct play is just to like hook back over there, and then I'm chilling. So I'm still in a very good spot. It's like they have somebody here, somebody on main, which I don't care about main. And then there's like a gen over here-ish, and it's like I don't really care about that either. I just care about the gens on the left side over here, the left side. So I'm still in a very good spot. Yes. I make another mistake here, though. Instead of hooking right here, which I definitely could have made that. I absolutely could have made that hook. I hook here, and it's like, this is not really good for me, because it's kind of, you know, the gens are to the left, and it's like, this isn't, like, the most ideal spot for this hook would have been like, you know, I think there's a hook around here somewhere, which would have been the best spot, because it's like way back in the corner of the map, like between these three gens, and it's like, I just win, you know. But like, even this hook, even though it's kind of like out of position a little bit, it's still okay. I'm still not in a horrible spot. I chase angels in the main here a little bit, which is fine. But right here, as soon as he drops this, I should recognize it's going to take me too long to get around this and like catch up and get the down. If I go bat for him here, it's still going to take the same amount of time or whatever. So at this point, I should be like, you know what? I'm teleporting back to hook, you know? That's what I should be doing right now. Because I know they're running shoulder, and that's exactly what happens. Tofu shoulders Ralph, and I'm kind of back to square two. And even at this point right here, after I get this down, I should be like, you know what? Fuck all this. I'm going back to hook. Yeah, my best course of action right after this down, like even after committing to that, which was kind of a mistake. I've already downed Angels twice, keep in mind. Like, I've already spent the time downing him 2 times. And, like, picking him up. Like, continuing... He's already fucking, like, a third of the way bled out, you know? Like, I could have honestly, like, just kept slugging him, and that would have been the play. I should just be like, you know what, bat for him, going back. Just try to find Ralph at all costs. Or not Ralph, Ada. Tofu. That would have been the play. And then... here I make another mistake, and I make the mistake of taking him to a pain res, which is like, I just wanted a pain res, but there was nothing in front of the building, so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go all the way back here, and it's like, I'm just so far away from the action, you know what I mean? So I'm just like wasting my time. Best course of action here is to just find either Ralph or Tofu. If I can find either of them, that would be good. I kick this, go to check my gens, you know. Then over here I find Cameo. He sprint bursts. I should just hit this with Eruption and chase him since he's going to the hook, you know. Like, I know, like, the gen at 8, or like bottom left, is not that close at all. And then this is a... it's probably going to take a while for somebody else to rotate to this gen, so I should hit this with Eruption. Then, you know, just go make my way over here. Try to get, like, some sort of tags or pressure or whatever. But I don't do that. I take a hit. They were resetting there, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to chase Angels, which honestly, not the play at this point. I already have a hook on everyone except for Cam. He has a medkit, he can reset himself. He's also running down the map into the gens, and after I hit Angels here, he DHs, then just go straight into main, which is like not where I want to be at all. And I could also get a pain res on Camlo, so I should just go for Cam here. That'll be the better course of action. And then I send that bounce too early. Let me go back a little bit, sorry. Like, I knew Angels had DH too. It probably would have been like the Giga Brain play to like look at him, then do a 180, hit the rock, and then he doesn't make it anywhere. But I know this rock is also like kind of slippery, so that would have been risky anyway. But double sent orb, and I have Killer Doll, so I can send it again instantly. And I should just know as an avid Dracula player, I am not making that shit. Like, especially with that ball pit sitting there. I just thought I could make it around, but I didn't. And I just shouldn't even be chasing this. It's not worth my time at all. Like, I should have either been chasing Cam or just, like, get a pain res on Cam or go back to my gens, you know. So, he sits here. And at this point, I see Tofu, and I'm like, I don't know, does he think he's, does he think he's like, stealthing for this pull? Like, what do we see you, I do. I guess I just thought that they were, like, sitting on these gens, and, like, he was being there to insta-pull, because, like, he can just do that, since I have to go back to those gens. But I was like, you know, I'm just gonna pick. Little did I know. I probably could have avoided that, maybe, if I just, like, kept going forward, like, that direction, you know? I didn't realize he had Last Stand. Even though I had watched them play earlier and I watched Tofu Last Stand save Angels, I forgot, like, I'm so familiar with Last Stand being, like, in my head I associate it as, like, a vault perk that I forgot that it stuns people. Like, I literally just forgot that part of the perk because it's just, like, has the stupid iframes bullshit on vaults, and that's all I think about it for, you know? I didn't recognize that he was doing that. And I'm like, well, shit. And then I just leave, which is the correct play after that. I mean, it was obvious to somebody who knows that, who's like thinks about that, you know, but I just don't think about Last Stand as being like a stun perk, because I'm just used to it being like, you know. I also just didn't think he had Last Stand. I just forgot. You know, I was nervous this whole game, and like that was not running through my mind. But it is fine, because I end up finding Tofu right here. And then this right here, if I just like committed to charging that, I would have hit him probably. But I canceled it, and then I sent a stupid ass pounce. Just a whole lot of mechanical errors I'm making this game. And then I do something here, and then just get lucky, because Tofu goofed. See through it, and then just ate that Hellfire. And I am in a way worse spot than I was, you know, after all that nonsense, anyway. The biggest mistake I've made so far was picking up Angels and hooking them behind main, instead of just going right back and finding Tofu or Ralph, you know. Like, even committing for the down on Angels is just not the play, because I have to play so close to the hook when shoulder is in play. I just have to deny it, or be like right there to down Tofu immediately if he uses it, you know. Because he would be on second hook and have DS, but, you know, I would just make it hard for him to save, because I got Hellfire. I can collateral the unhook, you know. I don't think I've ever been saved on with Last Stand, like, in a game ever. So it's just not something I was expecting at all. I wouldn't have even expected that, like, if I wasn't nervous, you know. Maybe I'm just dumb for that, but I wouldn't have expected that. So yeah, anyway, another dumb whiff on the M1 back there, but it is okay, because this is my absolute last chance to salvage this game. This is the last chance I have right here. Probably would have been a better idea to hook here, maybe? Probably not. I mean, I don't know, what do you think? Because I could defend these gens a little bit better. Maybe a little bit more open for Hellfire. I don't know. Maybe that hook would have been a little bit better. I don't really know. But this hook is still fine. Hit that with Eruption, go right back here. Hit this with Eruption, sorry, that's my phone. And you go right back, which is the correct play. They're all injured, so maybe I could have, like, gambled. I watched Angel's VOD, they were all resetting, like, at Shack, and if I, like, gambled and sent that, I would have won the game right then and there, probably. This would have been so much pressure. But yeah, they reset Cam, and then I think Ralph... No angels in that Ralph. Not that it matters, but yeah, I'm sitting here waiting for this because I know they gotta pull this, because if he dies right here, then it's over for him. And I make the dumbest play known to mankind here. So I'm like, just trying to see which direction they're coming from. I see somebody here, I think? I didn't really see him, but... yeah, I see angels coming in. I see Cam coming in. I'm like, my thinking, I guess, in my head was like, I want to hit somebody early so that when they run in for the pull, I can just collateral Hellfire and they go down and I get the tag on Tofu. But I'm like, alright, I just fucking M1 that. And I still have one more chance to save this game right here. And it would be by downing Camlo, because I would still have a hook in my gens. I wouldn't have to wait out BT and eat DS and then deal with life and all that bullshit, you know? After making that stupid ass play, like ideally here, I just hold up Hellfire, wait for them to pull. I could like stand farther back, hit them both, down Tofu instantly. I would eat DS, but it would erupt this gen and the gen back at like 8 bottom left of the map in that jungle gym. And then I could probably down Tofu quick enough to like salvage the game. But at this point, my best course of action would be to just down Zarina. Even if it was Deli, I would still have a hook in my gens. And I could still, like, you know, probably try to do something about the game. But yeah, after making that stupid play, because I should be Hellfire collating, but if I don't do that, then I should just take the guaranteed down. But I waited out, because what I intentionally wanted to do is, this is the result I would have had if I had just waited and Hellfired the hook. But now Tofu just has a shit ton of distance because I'm on an M1 cooldown instead of Hellfire cooldown. And I think that was like, I had already made up my mind I was tunneling Tofu here, but this is my absolute last chance to salvage the game. If I just down Camlo, so I get Eruption on 10, I get Eruption on 8, and then like I still have a hook in my gens, and that's my absolute last chance to salvage the game, and I don't go for it. Maybe if I got lucky by the grace of God or something, if I got this down quick, it would have been fine. I should have just played the 50 here in wolf form, but I switched form, and my fucking camera goes to Narnia, goes into the actual stratosphere, so he just gets distance on me because I don't know what the fuck is going on. That sucks a little bit. But I can still maybe bring it back if I just send this pounce here. Like, I could just charge that pounce, but for some reason I don't, because like, I don't know, I'm so nervous that like my brain is jumbling all of the information, and like I'm like, if I pounce here, I'm gonna vault, because I'm like, I'm Wesker dog, you know? Like, I'm just like, nothing is working in my brain anymore. Like, I already know that I've lost this game by this point. And then I just send a stupid ass M1 and whiff. And I'm like, oh, let me pounce around it. And even if this pallet wasn't here, I just wouldn't have hit that. But just to add salt in the wound, I break it like a fucking moron. And it's cooked. You know, because they pop that. I don't get Eruption, I don't get a hook there. I don't get anything. Yeah, he also didn't have off the record or DH. I knew that, because Ralph had off the record, Angels had DH, so I could have also just waited it out. Like, I could have downed Cam and then waited out, whatever, you know? But yeah, they popped that, which means they have a gen all the way here, gen here. Like, this gen in main is pretty close. This gen here, I don't care about, because it's just so far away. And then they popped that while I'm chasing Tofu. But yeah, I get this down here. I pop that. And maybe it would have, I don't know, it probably wouldn't have mattered by this point. There might have been a chance, because I could like pick him up. If he didn't, like if he whiffed a DS here, there may have been a chance of like, I don't know, maybe doing fucking something. Like I could maybe pain res him on one hook right there. And then, you know, that would hit main. And then I would be able to defend main 8 and 9. Like these gens over here. Maybe I would have been able to hold that, because he got hit by Eruption there, which means one survivor is on 2 back there that just popped. Angels is on main, and then somebody else is here on the gen that doesn't have that much progress. Like, at the most, it maybe has 50, but probably not. If he didn't have DS or, you know, got the down quick or whatever, I could have pain resed him on the hook behind me. That would have hit main because it was really close. I could find Cam or just chase Angels, or play it slow and hit the gens with Eruption, because these gens are still close enough to hold as Dracula. A little bit rough, but, you know, it's, that DS was just it. I'm forced to kick this. I don't know. Nothing I do matters anymore at this point. This game is already over. Because I chase Angels, Tofu runs around and pops it. If I try to stop both of them from popping it, it's like, I don't know, I just sit on the gen. I don't know, maybe I could have just like sat on the gen, waited for Eruption, waited for something. I don't know. I don't think it would have mattered. It's just by this point I've made way too many mistakes. And I don't even know if they end up popping main. I think they end up like popping something else. I think they pop 8 or something. Do they? Like, it doesn't matter anymore at this point. Is it main that they pop? Yeah, it is main, but, you know, this game is just, it's cooked at this point. There's not really a point in looking at mistakes I make past this point because it's already over. This map is strong for serve? No, for Dracula, like, this should be a 4K. I think Dracula can honestly do something about this. Then he just runs basement, and like, even if I didn't chase him, it's, you know, it's over. It's Jeej. And I had a feeling I was gonna lose this game just because of how nervous I was, so I'm like, I'm just gonna mute the entire match. Because I have a feeling by the end of this, I'm just gonna be like, mad, you know? Because I'm gonna be like upset with myself. And I was right. When I realized that I had already lost this game, like, I was absolutely fucking, like, infuriated. I was so mad. So I was like, yeah, I'm not unmuting. I'm just gonna raid Angels and then leave, you know? But yeah. I'm sure I will learn a lot from this game. Yeah, I think the main thing to take away from this streak is just that, like, my mindset regarding win streaks has to change. That's the thing that, like, I have to learn. More than, like, any strategies employed in the game. Like, maybe I wouldn't have been ready for the last stand save, or wouldn't have been ready for the shoulder DS, but maybe I would have been prepared for, you know, the rest of it, like, all of the things I did know, and then there was still a chance of me winning that. Maybe it would have been close, but I still learned new things. But more importantly than the strategies in-game and the metagame and whatnot, it's just my mindset has to change, because I don't know. I go into these things, or these streaks, like, how high the number gets is, like, all that matters to me. And if I lose, it's like, I don't know, it's humiliating, to be honest. I was, like, absolutely humiliated after this game. I was just embarrassed and upset, and I was like, you know what? I'm just ending stream. Which I think was probably a good move, just to, like, sit there and think about it for a while. But right after I cooled off, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna review this tomorrow, because I'm not about to review this same day I lost. I was pissed. Obviously not mad at any of the players. Like, I'm doing a win streak, they're doing a win streak. I'm not, even if I wasn't doing a win streak, I wouldn't be mad at them for doing a win streak, you know? Like, you can play how you want. I'm not mad at anybody for playing how they want. I was just mad at myself, because I was really upset and embarrassed after this game. But, you know, it's not randoms. It's not like random ass people broke the streak. It's not like they were running a bunch of, like, cooked-ass perks that, like, aren't good at all. It's not the worst way to go, but I'm also not really happy with it. Instead of, like, thinking that, you know, like, the number is everything, and if I lose, I have nothing. It's like, you know, it's the journey. Like, it's the games that I lose are the most important games, because you can either be like, you know, I lost because they were running a whole bunch of nonsense, which, like, to be fair, like, all of these builds are disgusting, you know, but it's like, you can look at that and just be like, you know, the map was too hard, and the survivors are too good, and there's no chance, I have no chance. But this game was, like, 100% winnable for me. Like, I absolutely could have won this game. Could have even potentially won it, like, a really high gen count. Like, in the future, I still can, you know? It's not just about, oh, if I did this, I could have done this, could have done that. It's like, you're gonna continue to have moments where you're like, I wish I had done this, and I could have done that. But you can look at the moments when you feel that way and be like, you know, let me learn from this, and then the next time that happens, you don't have that moment. You have to do your best to learn from the losses, and like, I was really tempted to just like not look at this game, because I'm like, I know why I lost, and it's because of fucking, I was just nervous, couldn't think at all, and that's all that the reason was. But honestly, nerves probably only accounted for like 70% of the reason I lost the game. Like, there are strategies employed that I am now familiar with, and I did still learn a lot from this game, and I really honestly hope I run into them again. I hope I continue running into good groups of survivors, you know, getting scrims in versus good players and whatnot, because you gotta get your ass kicked to learn. You only truly fail if you don't get back up.